Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Base Paths and Brewskis. Today is episode 23, the BnB All-MLB Team through May. So the episode for the March and April team, or through March and April, was just posted on Twitter. There wasn't an episode for it, sadly. Just kind of got busy during that time. So we'll kind of be touching on the players I had from last month as well as this month's team, focusing more on the guys through May though. So let's jump right into the beer of the pod. It is currently 8:36 in the morning, so I'm not going to be drinking a beer right now. I've got the Monster Energy Ultra Blue. Let's give it a sip. Very good, very good. Let's jump right in. First player will be the starting pitcher, and it was Tanner Houck. Last month had him as well as the starter for the All-BnB All-MLB team. So far, 1.85 ERA. Brewers faced him and had some limited success against him. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I got the numbers here. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up a run against us and struck out 7. So pretty good outing from him. 2.15 FIP. Which is fielding independent pitching. Basically, it is the number that the pitcher would be doing on like the 3 results of like home run, walk, strikeout. So he's pretty excellent there too. His ERA is very low as well. 2.7 WAR I think was like easily the highest. My Fangraphs is kind of having a hard time pulling up WAR right now, but yeah, I mean, it leads the MLB in games started, innings pitched as we're speaking now. He's got more than what I made this this episode's slideshow, but obviously all his numbers are super elevated. Currently, he has a 2.18 ERA plus, which is basically comparing him to the rest of the league, along with park factor, which is the ballpark he plays in and how it affects the hitters. And so Fenway for him, not much more to say. He was last month's winner, basically just on a tear. I believe on my fantasy team. Let's take a look quick. If he isn't, there's another Boston dude. No, Tanner Houck on the fantasy team. So obviously had to give him the award here as well. Great job from Houck this season, and so far has his 2 beers out of 2 possibilities. So both got a beer each month. Yeah, so kind of how it's going to work is each month there's going to be a player who gets a beer at each position, and that's kind of how you get the all MLB BnB team. So 2 beers for him, trying to get that 6-pack. The relief pitcher, Mason Miller. Mason Miller, the killer. 2.08 ERA, 26 innings pitched at the time of recording, 11 saves, 0.86 FIP. Like even lower than his ERA, which just goes to show, how many people he's been striking out. The 1.4 WAR is extremely high for a reliever this early in the season. It's very hard for relievers to rack up WAR just because they don't play that much. Currently, I just looked up his stats. This is a couple games after I made the slideshow here. He is 52 strikeouts. So 16.9 strikeouts per 9. The dude throws heat. I want to say he's got like the most over 100 pitches in the league this year, 100 plus mile an hour pitches. Yeah, his fastball velo is top of the league at averaging a 100.9 miles an hour. He's pretty much 100 percentile in expected ERA, expecting batting average, fastball velo, chase percentage, whiff percentage, K percentage. I mean, the dude's been balling. His fastball run value is a 9. His fastball run value is a 6. Breaking run value is a 4. Off speed, he doesn't really have any run value there, but the dude is a stud for a reliever. He was last month's winner. Didn't see a reason to change it up. All right. Catcher William Contreras, once again, just like last month, been tearing it up for the Brewers. Obviously, possibly a little bias. I think that Will Smith had somewhat of an argument, the Dodgers catcher. Otherwise, outside of that, there maybe Salvador Perez as well. He also, though, is kind of playing a lot of time at first in DH, I believe, as well. Let me take a look to fact check that. But the 310 batting average, 380 slug, on base, and 478 slug. Good enough for a 145 WRC plus. That is weighted runs created plus. Just kind of a good way to measure offense. It's a metric. I'm not sure exactly what goes into it, but basically, if you're over 100, that means you're doing pretty good. If you're under 100 or at 100, that's league average, and under is, you know, yeah, you're not playing so hot. But the 2.5 WAR, his fielding has been okay. Um, it's kind of taken a downturn. I think on Baseball Savant, he has a negative fielding run value along with a negative base running value, but 96th percentile as a catcher in batting run value is that's elite stuff right there. So let's see. Salvador Perez this season has played 16 games at first, 36 games at catcher, and 11 at DH. So I guess mostly a catcher. Definitely had a good argument for this award, but not much more to say over William. Definitely the heart and soul of the Brewers offense this season. He's been on a bit of a cool streak lately, kind of coming down to earth. Dom and I last episode were kind of talking about how it's potentially because of, the extra ABs, the extra games. He hasn't taken a game off yet, so that definitely could have something to do with it. But if he can keep up this pace, I mean, this is potentially MVP type season for William Contreras, barring, Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani kind of cooling off as well. So first base, Bryce Harper. It's kind of hard. It was between Bryce and uh, there was another guy I was kind of struggling with giving it to. Ended up giving it to Bryce. Um, 14 home runs, 44 RBI at the time of recording, 147 WRC plus, which just goes to show how crazy William Contreras' season's been, as he's playing a highly defensive focused position and has a higher WRC, slightly lower WRC plus than a guy who plays first base, which is an offensive dominated position. 270, 376, 517 is the slash line. That 517 slug is very impressive, excuse me. 2.3 WAR, driving in runs. And I mean, we saw the Phillies, they are just a buzzsaw of a team. They're, one of the best in the league right now. In terms of standings, they currently, as I'm recording, are one half game behind the Yankees as the best team in the league. So very good season. Bryce Harper, one of my all-time favorite players for sure. Just was so cool growing up, and he was like a 19-year-old dude or whatever making his debut. So that was really cool. I had last month's winner. This is the first time where we had a different winner last month. It was Christian Walker. He was off to a super hot start in March and April, somewhat cooled off a bit, and Bryce Harper has just kind of been going nutso with the home runs. So yeah, I mean, definitely had to give it to Bryce, and just the success of the Phillies kind of got weighed into it as well. Such a good winning team. And it's cool to see a dude in his, 13th season and he's only 31. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, Bryce Harper definitely showing why he's, making big bucks in Philly. So second baseman, I had Ketel Marte. Last month was Jose Altuve. It was a very close race between Altuve, Marte, and Marcus Semien. I'm a huge Marcus Semien fan just because of the defense as well, but Ketel Marte slugging above 500, the 2.6 WAR is huge. He's definitely been the best player on that team, in my opinion, with Corbin Carroll not maybe playing up to expectations. Christian Walker obviously had kind of had a bit harder of a patch here. And they've honestly been playing much better. I know they are have taken their last 4 out of 5, I think. Jordan Montgomery's kind of been struggling, so I know he's been dropping some starts when he's out there. But yeah, Ketel Marte, he's played 62 games this season. At the time of this recording, currently, this isn't updated with his stats, but on the screen. But his OPS plus is very high, 134 WRC plus, and he's a decent defender as well. uh, pretty solid and just kind of, I don't know, swaggy pick. Look at the picture, the shoes, the glove, this purple sleeve, like definitely a swag pick here. But shout out to Jose Altuve and Marcus Semien for making this a tough decision, though, for sure. A lot of good second basemen in the league right now. Third base, this was really not much of a competition. J Ram, aka Barry Bonds, 272, 329, 540 slug, 2.1 WAR, 144 WRC plus. Did want to note that's still under William Contreras. 16 home runs and 58 RBI though. I mean that's why that slugging is so high. Just kind of a almost a five-tool player you can call him at third base. I mean, good defender, does a good job batting clearly with a 540 slug. He's somewhat speedy dude too. 9 stolen bases while being caught only 2 times this year. But yeah, actually, right now he's at 60 RBI, which is currently leading the MLB. Take a look at his baseball savant quick. And I mean, batting run value is 99th percentile. His fielding run value is also a -2, kind of like Contreras. Has a 71st percentile base running value, but the Savant isn't honestly that crazy. He just doesn't really strike out. K percentage is very low. He just makes very good contact and hits the ball hard. His barrel percent is only 64th percentile, not exactly what I expected. Bat speed below 50th percentile as well. So not definitely expecting to be having this kind of season. His expected slug is about 100 points below what his actual slug is. So keep it up, J-Ram. Kind of balling. Last month's winner was Alec Boehm. He had like a fantastic April for the Phillies. Another one of these dudes in the red pinstripes. They're playing really good. So definitely watch out for him to continue having a good season. Don't know if he'll necessarily be competing for this third base All-BnB team getting his beers, but because of J-Ram and Rafi Devers. But yeah, definitely another very good position here at third base with some competitive guys this season. Shortstop, I had Gunnar Henderson past Mookie Betts for me. 170 WRC plus. Between him and Bobby Witt, it was very hard to come up with. I think Bobby Witt on Fangraphs. This is all Fangraph WAR as well. Just wanted to say so F WAR, which takes into account fielding quite a bit more than B WAR, Baseball Reference WAR. 3.8 WAR was 2.2 short of Bobby Witt's 4.0. Bobby Witt also does a lot more on the base paths in terms of taking the extra base, stealing. His fielding, I would say, is a bit better, but Gunnar Henderson is slugging almost 600 right now. 19 homers, 42 RBI, the 170 WRC plus, like I mentioned, just comparing him kind of to the league and the runs he's creating, and really no one touching Gunnar Henderson here, in my opinion, in terms of the bat at shortstop. Bobby Witt obviously is playing very good. I can kind of pull his numbers up here quick. Who currently, yeah, I mean, Bobby Witt's also slugging 560 as we speak right now, 159 OPS plus. Just there, it's such a competitive position, but the near 20 home runs from the shortstop spot was just that I had to take that. So Gunnar Henderson, congrats. Bobby Witt Jr. also congrats. Mookie Betts still playing phenomenal baseball, but these two are just running away as the top young shortstops and really young players of the league. So shout out to them. In left field, I had Jurickson Profar. I believe that's your Don that no, Kyle Tucker, sorry, who I had winning last month. He was off to a really good start. He's still hitting really well. Basically, a dude who you can pencil in at 30 home runs per season. Currently at 19. I mean, it was definitely a close race, but the WAR from Jurickson Profar and the 169 WRC plus, he's 329 average. I mean, Luis Ariz maybe having some influence on Jurickson Profar's style of play. He's getting on base at a 424 clip, slugging 491, which is an extremely respectable number as well. So lots of doubles, I'm assuming, from Profar with the only 8 home runs with that high of slug. So Profar definitely going to be an all-star. I mean, he deserves to be on this list, and I ended up giving him left field. Not much more to say than that. Look for Kyle Tucker to be definitely competing back to get this spot, though. Love Kyle Tucker. Definitely one of my favorite players to watch in the league. Just all around, kind of a five-tool dude. Plays great defense, can run, and he can hit the shit out of the ball, too. Looking to be, I believe, a free agent after the season. So, Milwaukee, if Houston's selling at the deadline, why don't we go grab Kyle Tucker? Take another sip of my drink here. Yeah. So you can admire the center fielder for this month, just like last month, Aaron Judge. Um, didn't have the greatest start to the season. Still gave him the benefit of the doubt. He got the center field award. Um, 662 slug, 21 home runs, 49 RBI, 201 WRC plus with a 4.1 WAR. I mean, there's really no better hitter in the game. I got to see the Yankees play Milwaukee this season in person, and Aaron Judge, just the intimidation factor of having a dude that's 6'7", 6'8", whatever he is, standing out in center field, tracking down balls, able to rob a home runs very easily, and he hits plenty of them himself. So really an easy decision for me here. Just the home run numbers. Not much more to say about that. Obviously, the Pinstripes are doing pretty good as the best team in the league right now. So cool to see Judge. I mean, it kind of a record-breaking, pace here with 21 home runs this early in the season. So maybe come September, October timeframe again, we'll be watching to see if he's breaking his own American League home run record, or potentially the Barry Bonds, I believe, single season home run record for the MLB. In right field, I have his partner in crime, Juan Soto. 609 slug from him, 190 WRC plus, 418 on base. I mean, he hits for power. He gets on base. One dotting it as well. 17 homers, 53 RBI. These two in the middle of a lineup at 4.1 and 4.0 WAR. I mean, two players that make up almost 8 WAR in May is pretty incredible, and the fact that they're on the same team is showing why the Yankees have so many wins. So Juan Soto, probably, I think he's like 25 and already going to be up for free agency at the end of the year. So I'm so interested to see what contract he'll get. 25 this season, debuted as a 19-year-old. He is currently leading the league in on-base percentage with a 424 currently, and the 318 batting average leads the American League. So, I mean, the Yankees did. I mean, they definitely didn't need a guy like this, as they already had a solid team. But having a guy like this just shows why they are the top team in the MLB right now. As for the designated hitter, we're kind of starting to wrap things up. Shohei Ohtani still had to grab it for me. 2.9 WAR, 178 WRC plus, 14 homers and 38 RBI, slugging nearly 600 while getting on base at a 390 clip. I mean, that's what you have to do as a DH. And basically, I kind of just looked at the highest WRC plus guys, and Ohtani's at the top there. And having almost a 3.0 WAR while not playing the field on Fangraphs is pretty incredible. So definitely the Dodgers are getting their $2.5 million worth of Shohei Ohtani this year, because his contract is it's going to be like a ton of delayed and backloaded money. So yeah, kind of got a cheap DH this year. It'll be cool to see him go back out and pitch again. That's always fun, seeing the two-way aspect of his game. So yeah, I mean, not much more to say about him too. Just an excellent hitter. Don't want the Brewers to face the Dodgers anytime soon. Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies. I mean, these are teams that probably end up having to compete with if we want to be a good playoff team. So we probably should get used to facing this kind of level of play and a level of opponents, but don't ever want to see Shohei Ohtani hitting nukes off your team, because, I mean, he even took Paul Skeens deep the other day. So good hitter for sure. The utility player, I had Willie Castro. I got to watch him earlier this season when the Brewers played the Twins, and he just kind of was all over the field, just doing stuff, whether it was good or not. I mean, he was played every position. He's played third base, shortstop, center field, very key positions on the defensive side of the ball. .257, .335 on base, and a .416 slug for a 1.6 WAR. Only a 117 WRC plus, but as a utility player, focusing more on kind of the fielding aspect of it. And, he's a top, I want to say 50 WAR player in baseball, and he's played almost every position besides, I believe, like catcher and first base. So, Willie Castro, snaps to you. You were my last month utility player as well. So keep that up, man. Get your 6-pack of beers here soon. So this is breaking down the team, running through it one last time. In left field, Jerks and Profar running down center field and hitting home runs, Aaron Judge. And doing the same thing in right field is Juan Soto. The infield from left to right, we've got J Ram at the hot corner at third base, Gunnar Henderson filling up the shortstop position with a ton of home runs, Ketel Marte playing some good second base and hitting like he normally does as well, Bryce Harper at first base, William Contreras behind the dish again, Shohei Ohtani in the DH spot, and Willie Castro, kind of that utility guy that's been playing anywhere. In terms of the pitching, we have Tanner Houck as the starter and Mason Miller as the reliever. Anything you'd change, feel free to let me know. Obviously, I'm not. There's a lot of good debates for different players, especially like, Bobby Witt, Will Smith. I thought there was another guy at first base who I was kind of debating with, just maybe not as many home runs. DH spot, there's always like your Brent Rooker kind of guys. Outfield has a lot of guys in the American League for sure that were playing good outfield. And then pitching, it's tough to narrow down to just 2 guys as well. So let me know what you would do different, what picks you liked. Just keep me updated on that. And hopefully not too many hot takes here. BnB beer requests. If you have any beers you've been dying to try, if you have a go-to beer that I need to try, comment or reach out on any of the socials listed below with what I should drink next. With that being said, take another drink of this monster. Great way to start the day. You guys, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think of the team, and you have a great rest of your day.